There was a young girl named Kelsang Namso, 17-year-old girl. She lives in a farm. She has many brothers. Her mother and father are alive, but it's been a really, really difficult life for them. This girl has a real feeling in her heart to become a nun, a Buddhist nun. Her mother doesn't want her to do it, but she decides she has to, and she's after them constantly. I have to go, I have to go, I have to go. There's no place for her to study. The Chinese have made it impossible for her to study. One of the most impossible things is for her to go into the convent. She has to denounce the Dalai Lama, which she would rather kill herself than do. So she decides that she's going to go to India to see His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Reluctantly, the family allows her to do it, and she kind of miraculously puts together $520, or the equivalent, to hire a guide. And she finds that she's in a group then of about 70 people who are also trying to get out of Tibet. So she sets off in the middle of the night with this group in a car, and they go off for many, many hours from her village. And she's been told that it'll probably take only 2 days for them to walk into Nepal, down the Nangpola Pass, which is the usual way that people escape into Nepal and then to India. So they go several hours, they get out of the van, they realize that there's more people than they thought there was going to be. There are approximately 70 people, and they start walking in the middle of the night, and the freezing cold, and it becomes worse and worse. 2 days go by, 5 days go by of walking, 10 days go by. They have young children with them, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Women, nuns, older men, younger men. They continue on. 10 more days. The food is gone. They're starving. They have no more energy to even move. They're desperately cold at night. They don't have tents. They don't have sleeping bags. They're in tennis shoes, light clothes, a jacket. Some of them have hats. Some of them don't. They're carrying whatever belongings they can on their back in handmade backpacks. The 22nd day, they're literally starving to death. Some of the kids are losing consciousness. But they're coming to the last day of the walk. The final day. They're 1/2 hour from getting to the border of Nepal. Just over the border, there is a settlement, a reception camp that I know very well that receives them. There's medical care there, there is food, there's comfort, there are Tibetan friends who have been trained to deal with them. They're 1/2 hour away. The Chinese border police come up. They take aim with their high-powered rifles, and they fire a bullet. And this young nun is shot through the stomach. And as you see, she falls in the snow. 1/2 hour. She takes off her pack. The other ones move forward, try to get out there as fast as they can because they realize that the police are going to be on top of them. They run this way, they run that way. The group breaks up. 20 go this way, 20 that way. Some back to the camp of the mountain climbers who accidentally took this footage. She's left alone in the snow. She gets out of her pack and she starts crawling in the snow. She gets 10 feet away. She can't move anymore. She stops. The mountaineers are stunned. They don't know what to do. The man who's taking the footage stops the camera. He feels that he can't do this anymore. He's frozen. And they watch as the Chinese guards go to pick the body up. They go through papers. They don't know what to do. A short time after, they take the body and they throw it into a ravine. They capture the children. About half of the group gets through, 6. Some come back to the mountaineers' camp. One of them is hidden by the cameraman who shot this footage in the toilet tent. As the guards come, Chinese border guards come through looking for him. He's kept there. He's terrified. He's given some food and some clothes. This is the life of Tibetans. When the Chinese were confronted with this, and this kind of proof that we haven't had for 50 years, we know this has been going on, but we didn't have photographic proof. They said they shot in self-defense, which of course is insane. And then they explained that this was normal border management. Now, I think we all feel that this kind of behavior was finished in 1989, 1990, when former Soviet Union changed, when this wall came down here. The shooting of unarmed civilians who, because of the dead end of their lives, trying to find something better, are just shot like animals, literally like bighorn sheep on the hillside. It's a thing that makes me sick. It makes me ill. And I've seen this footage now several times. And to find out more about this young nun, Kelsang Namso, this black shape that falls in the snow and doesn't move anymore. This was a real person. A real person. They so desperately need our help. And we're talking very much tonight about what the German people can do, what the German government can do, what Mrs. Merkel can do. This has to be brought up to the Chinese in every discussion. The framework by which the Chinese are dealt with, the way we consider dealing with this new superpower, the new China, whatever it ends up being. Chinese leaders themselves don't even know where this is going. It's going so quickly. It's our responsibility to make sure this is dealt with. Anytime China is dealt with, Tibet is brought up. Kelsang Namso is brought up. The people, the individuals, the brothers, the sisters, the fathers, the sons, the daughters, the real people that get caught up in kind of titles and names and scoopers of ideas. These are real people. And there's no one else who is going to help them but the people who are here in this room right now. It's a jewel that we cannot allow to be destroyed and lost on this planet. I pray to all of you, whenever you think of China, think Tibet. Think what you can do to help these poor people out. It can be done. Every time you hear the word China, think Tibet. Think about this jewel, this power of love, compassion, forgiveness. China, Tibet. Every time it comes up. Thank you very much.
Chu chu be